Hello, States of Ambition community. Welcome to your channel, where we honor those who dream boldly, act courageously, and transform the world. Today, we're diving deep into the life of Martin Luther King Jr., a man whose ambition for justice and equality reshaped a nation and continues to inspire millions. His story of sacrifice, vision, and unyielding resilience teaches us that ambition isn't just about personal gain, it's about lifting humanity toward a better future. On States of Ambition, let's explore how Martin's journey can fuel your own dreams to make a difference, challenge injustice, and create a legacy that echoes through time. Born on January 15, 1929, in Atlanta, Georgia, Martin Luther King Jr. entered a world divided by segregation. As a black boy in the Jim Crow South, he couldn't drink from the same water fountains, attend the same schools, or eat at the same restaurants as white children. At 6, he faced a heart-wrenching rejection when a white friend's mother forbade their friendship because of his race. That moment wasn't just a childhood slight, it was a spark that ignited his ambition to challenge an unjust world. His parents, Reverend Martin Luther King Sr. and Alberta Williams King, were pillars of strength. His father, a pastor, modeled leadership, while his mother, a teacher, instilled dignity and faith. They took young Martin to hear sermons and lectures, exposing him to ideas of justice and equality. On States of Ambition, we know that ambition often begins with a seed planted in childhood, a belief that the world can be better, no matter how deeply unfair it seems. Martin was a prodigy, skipping 9th and 11th grades and entering Morehouse College at 15. Despite his intellect, he grappled with the weight of segregation's injustice. He initially resisted following his father's path into ministry, questioning religion's role in a world so cruel. But at Morehouse, he found mentors like Benjamin Mays, who inspired him to see faith as a force for change. He graduated with a sociology degree in 1948. Then earned a divinity degree from Crozer Theological Seminary in 1951, where he was class president and valedictorian. At 25, he completed a doctorate in theology from Boston University, studying philosophers like Hegel and Tillich, and discovering Mahatma Gandhi's principles of nonviolence. Yet, his ambition wasn't for personal accolades, it was for equality, a dream to dismantle the systems that oppressed millions. In 1954, at 25, Martin became pastor of Dexter Avenue Baptist Church in Montgomery, Alabama. He was young, newly married to Coretta Scott, and stepping into a world of racial tension. Then, on December 1, 1955, Rosa Parks, a black seamstress, refused to give up her bus seat to a white passenger, sparking the Montgomery Bus Boycott. At 26, Martin was chosen to lead the Montgomery Improvement Association, organizing a 381-day protest where black residents walked miles, carpooled, or stayed home, refusing to ride segregated buses. The boycott wasn't just a stand, it was a revolution. Martin's leadership was tested early. His home was bombed, with Coretta and their infant daughter, Yolanda, inside. Death threats flooded his phone, yet his ambition for justice burned brighter than fear. Drawing on Gandhi's teachings, he preached nonviolence, urging the community to resist with love, not hate. In November 1956, the Supreme Court ruled bus segregation unconstitutional, a victory that catapulted Martin to national prominence and ignited the civil rights movement. Over the next decade, Martin became the movement's heart and soul. He faced 16 arrests, countless threats, and violent attacks. In 1961, he joined the Freedom Rides, challenging segregated interstate buses. In 1963, in Birmingham, Alabama, of the South's most segregated cities, he led protests against discriminatory laws. Police unleashed dogs and fire hoses on peaceful marchers, including children. Martin was arrested and jailed, confined to a cramped cell. There, he penned his letter from Birmingham jail, a masterpiece of moral clarity, arguing that injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. Released after 8 days, he continued the fight. That same year, at 34, he stood before 250,000 people at the Lincoln Memorial during the March on Washington. His I Have a Dream speech, delivered on August 28, 1963, envisioned a world where character, not color, defined a person. His words, "I have a dream that my 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character," moved millions, galvanizing the fight for equality. In 1964, at 35, Martin became the youngest person to win the Nobel Peace Prize, honored for his nonviolent resistance to racial oppression. He donated the $54,123 prize money to civil rights organizations, showing his ambition was for the cause, not personal gain. In 1965, he led the Selma to Montgomery marches, advocating for voting rights. The first march, on Bloody Sunday, saw state troopers attack peaceful protesters on the Edmund Pettus Bridge. Martin's resolve didn't waver. The marches continued, drawing national attention and helping pass the Voting Rights Act of 1965, a landmark law securing Black Americans' right to vote. But his ambition extended beyond race. In 1967, he spoke out against the Vietnam War, linking poverty, militarism, and racism as interconnected evils. This stance alienated some allies, yet he stood firm, proving his commitment to justice was unwavering. Martin's ambition came at a cost. He lived under constant threat: FBI surveillance, hate mail, and assassination attempts. On April 4, 1968, at 39, he was assassinated in Memphis, Tennessee, while supporting striking sanitation workers. Standing on the Lorraine Motel balcony, he was shot, leaving behind Coretta and their 4 children. His death shocked the world, sparking riots in over 100 cities. Yet, his dream, States of Ambition, lives on. The Civil Rights Act of 1964, the Voting Rights Act, and countless local changes trace back to his work. His legacy inspired future activists, from Nelson Mandela to modern movements like Black Lives Matter. What can we learn from Martin? States of Ambition. First, courage fuels ambition. He faced death threats daily, but kept marching, showing fear doesn't stop greatness. Second, a vision can change history. His dream of equality united millions, proving one voice can spark a movement. Third, love is stronger than hate. He met violence with peace, showing principles outlast prejudice. Fourth, ambition thrives in community. Martin inspired marchers, students, and everyday people to act, proving change is collective. Fifth, sacrifice is part of greatness. He gave his life for his dream, showing true ambition often demands everything. Sixth, action is essential. He didn't just dream, he organized, spoke, and fought relentlessly. Seventh, faith sustains ambition. His belief in justice and humanity kept him going, even in the darkest times. Eighth, persistence prevails. Despite setbacks, arrests, violence, betrayal, he never wavered, proving steady effort bends history. Ninth, empathy drives impact. He fought for all oppressed, from Black Americans to poor workers. Finally, integrity matters. He lived his values, even when it cost him allies or safety. Today, States of Ambition. Reflect on your own dreams. Maybe you're battling doubt, injustice, or fear. Martin faced worse, yet he never stopped. You don't need to lead a movement to make a difference. Stand up for what's right, even if your voice shakes. Hold a vision for a better tomorrow, whether for your family, community, or the world. Martin said, "The arc of the moral universe is long, but it bends toward justice. You can bend it to start small, speak up, help someone, take a stand." On States of Ambition, we believe in your power to act, dream, and change the world. So, States of Ambition, what's your next step? Find your cause, embrace your courage, and let your ambition shine. Be bold, be kind, and build a legacy that inspires others to rise. Martin's life shows us that one person's ambition can ripple across generations, creating a world more just, more equal, more hopeful. Thank you for joining States of Ambition. Let's keep dreaming, fighting, and building a better tomorrow together.